But a couple things I kind of wanted to address, I guess, with my YouTube channel and some of the things I've been doing on it. Okay, this is in regards to the video that I made, right? And nobody else has really seen it. Not too many people have probably even looked at it, besides specific individuals who stumbled upon it, shared it probably with various other people in certain communities. I'll say there could have been people who have certain opinions about the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses and the Watchtower and stuff like that. There could have been individuals that, I don't know, may have been a little offended with one of the videos that I put up once, which is why it doesn't exist on the channel anymore. Now, I kind of figured something may happen with the video itself. Like, I wasn't 100% sure if the person was going to go out of their way and call my congregation and or, you know, say things about me, which may or may not have been true, because I don't know what they actually said. Nothing has been told to me. Nothing has actually been officially stated to me yet, because I haven't gotten, you know, any word or any real information about what this individual spoke about. So for all I know, they could have made up things. And maybe they did make up stuff to the people that, you know, the people that I worship with, my congregation. There's an individual on here with a video that I happened to post, which I didn't think was too offensive, but perhaps there were some words, there should have been, there could have been more tact. I will agree that I did not approach that video with as much tact as I could have. Me being somebody that isn't as well versed as, say, somebody that's been doing it for like 10, 15 years, I'm still kind of young. Let's say I'm still green. And putting up certain videos, you know, you have to have a certain amount of tact. You have to kind of know how to word things. You have to articulate things a certain way. You just have to be better in general. And I'm not somebody that's, you know, really that good at doing that sometimes. And, you know, quite frankly, sometimes I come out really blunt and sometimes don't even word things properly. You know, some things I may not have intended at all. You know, it came off a certain way because of maybe my naiveness, if that's how that's said even. Maybe because of me being so fresh sometimes, there are things that I might say that might come off a little insensitive, a little bit like, yeah, I'll just say that. That's probably the best word to say. Insensitive. It may come off tone deaf. I may not, you know what I mean, have all my, let's say, facts 100% straight, but I'm not saying that I don't have all the facts. Maybe there could have been more research done into certain topics as well. With anybody, when it comes to doing stuff like this, it's a touch and go thing. You know, I feel like even if you did do the amount of research that you were supposed to do, let's say you dove in and you did like weeks or months worth of research, you could have still offended somebody anyway, regardless, just because of the subject matter. So I touched a subject that I shouldn't have probably even touched really as much. And if I did, I should have probably done it with like maybe more of the organization's literature, how they view things and all that stuff. Maybe I should have posted more stuff about what witnesses themselves, the organization, you know, certain literature that might point out what they actually do believe. Or just pointed you towards the website so that you would understand that, and that my channel is not affiliated with the organization itself. It's something that I do and is separated from that. Now, I do hold all those belief systems and stuff like that, but I'm not an official baptized publisher. And even being an unbaptized publisher, once I get to that point, which I'm like just right there, and I'm not going to say that some of this stuff was an attempt to possibly stifle that, because perhaps it was. Perhaps it was, perhaps it wasn't. You say yay or nay on it, people are probably going to call you out on that too. They probably will call me out no matter what. Even me making an apology video like this, which I am. This is an apology. This may not seem like an apology to some people, but it is. I do deeply and sincerely regret making, certain statements in that video. It wasn't necessarily proper and it wasn't right to make certain statements about, certain abuse and stuff like that people experience, because there are plenty of people out there that experience that kind of stuff. And me saying certain things came off insensitive, and I did see that. I even saw that for myself. I'm like, wow, this seems ignorant. This seems blatantly ignorant. But then again, the 2-witness rule, other things like that of that nature, definitely, that is something that they believe. The 2 witnesses to certain things like that, certain issues. We'll say certain issues that come up when it comes to children and all that stuff, and abuse and all that. And it's not always going to be the case. You know what I mean? There's not always going to be that. But again, I'm not going to go too far into that. Again, I just don't feel like even touching the subject. I just know that that's something that they believe. They're getting that straight from the Bible. The Bible states that. I'll even put it back up on screen again in this video. That's what they believe. But again, I just wanted to make this an apology just for myself. This is a personal thing that I felt, was stupid. It was just straight up stupid. And I probably, I'm probably going to make more mistakes like that too. I'm just going to try to be a little bit more lighter with it. I'm going to try not to be as heavy-handed maybe with the spiritual stuff. Me being so young in the faith, let's say, I've only been doing this actively again for the past 2.5, almost 2.5 years. We're going to be going on 2.5 years here. But, I'm still pretty young in the faith. Like, I grew up in it, but let's just say I fell out of it for so long that it wasn't like riding a bike, because I didn't really learn as much as I probably could have when I was growing up. I learned enough. I learned the basics, and I held on to a lot of that. And I grew up in the faith and all that stuff, but it's like you still have to kind of grow, you know what I mean? You have to make it your own. Like when you're a kid, you're not necessarily making it your own yet. You haven't really fully developed your thoughts, your opinions, your whole belief system yet, because you have not grown and developed yet. So right now, that's what I'm doing. So sometimes you're going to have to like, own up to your mistakes and stuff like that. And I'm definitely not somebody that's too proud to say, oh, I didn't do anything. I made mistakes. I make mistakes. The organization itself makes mistakes, and I think certain individuals may be harboring grudges and or have resentment towards the organization, which may or may not factor into some of, the flack and some of the stuff that I received, because I did get downright hatred when I posted some of that stuff. People told me to, well, I'm not going to quote anybody, but you know what I mean? Told me to screw off, told me to do this, told me to blah, blah. When I posted said video and when I stated certain things, and, that's their personality, that's their prerogative, and that's what they chose to put out there. That's not on me, and I don't have any resentment, or I don't have any hatred towards anybody. I wouldn't really want to go out of my way to say anything like that towards anybody. For one, I'm not trying to put any negativity out there. I'm not, and this is going to be, I don't want to continue even with the video anymore. I'm starting to get like, kind of over it now. And I pretty much am. But again, I don't want to keep dragging us on. I just wanted to say that. I'm not going to cut too much of this because it's just me stumbling over my words and stuff. If I make cuts, it's only because I stumble over my words. I might say something, you know, something flies out of the mouth, and then I'm just like, ah, that was so stupid. Why did I say that? I maybe should do that more often, you know, with some of these videos, like that one that I'm talking about. But for real, I am sorry. It may not look like, whoa, man, I mean, I should be more emotional about it. I'm not somebody that gets, like, too emotional in front of people. You know, once in a while I'll break down. That's whenever things are really getting heavy for me. But I can usually keep it contained, you know, but when I need to own up to something, when I need to say something, I'll say it. So, oh, and for videos that I posted earlier on this channel, and I know that, you know, some of those spiritual videos that I have when I started earlier, when I started my spiritual walk, there are specific videos on here where certain people were mentioned, right? Artists, musicians, and things like that. I wasn't specifically calling them out for being a part of anything, whether it be Illuminati, Freemasons, or any of that other stuff that happens to be associated with people that are conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. I wasn't specifically saying that they were. I just said, I was trying to say that there could be some influence there. There could be something going on there. And even in my case, there could still be like that possibility of an influence. You know what I mean? We can all be influenced by the world around us. So I was just saying that it did seem like there might have been influence, some dark spiritual things going on. And you can tell with, you know, certain artists, musicians, and people, personalities and stuff like that, that they have their own beliefs and all that stuff too. And, you know what I mean? They're going to put it out there in their own way, and they're going to express themselves in their own way. So in those videos, I was still pretty young, like I said, in the faith, still just kind of trying to figure it out. And I happened to post those things, just trying to discuss things. I was trying to discuss topics, and I was also kind of in like a paranoid, freaked out mode. I just happened to put them up there, and so I apologize for those videos too, but I might keep them up there for, you know, a short period of time. Maybe I'll take them down, and let's say, I may not do an updated video of those specific ones, stating anything about artists or anything like that, but on, you know, maybe conspiracies and, you know, the influence of the world and all that stuff. I might put other videos up like that in the future, so that'll address that and hopefully correct certain things or whatever. But this is actually kind of neat doing this. I'm just gonna do some cool shots. It's pretty wet out here because it just rained. There's some pretty good cloud shots here too if you get some of these. I guess I could take some pictures, huh? Some okay clouds, I guess. Nothing too spectacular. I'd say over here, some kind of neat clouds forming. Kind of like that right there. That's kind of neat.